Hello and welcome to World Watch on Oweleketv. I am Antonia Nwokolo. An aircraft carrying Malawi's Vice-President Chilima and 9 others has gone missing. A statement from the president's office has said the Malawi Defense Force aircraft went off the radar after it left the capital, Lilongwe, on Monday morning. The plane was supposed to land at Zuzu International Airport in the country's north just after 10 a.m. local time. In a speech late on Monday, President Lazarus Chakwera said a search and rescue party was continuing. Mr. Chilima was on his way to represent the government at the burial of former cabinet minister Ralph Kasambara, who died 3 days ago. The United Nations Security Council has voted to support a U.S. proposed Israel-Gaza ceasefire plan. The proposal sets out conditions for a full and complete ceasefire, the release of hostages held by Hamas, the return of dead hostages remains, and the exchange of Palestinian prisoners. 14 of the 15 Security Council members voted in favor of the U.S. drafted resolution. Russia abstained. The resolution states that Israel has accepted the ceasefire proposal and urges Hamas to agree to it too. It means the Security Council joins a number of governments as well as the G7 group of the world's richest nations in backing the three-part plan that was unveiled by President Joe Biden on 31st May. Biden described it as an Israeli ceasefire proposal. The vote is likely to increase pressure on both sides to respond positively to the plan with a view to ending the conflict. It also came shortly after U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with foreign leaders, including Israeli Prime Minister, in an attempt to build support for the peace deal. The port of Baltimore shipping channel has fully reopened 11 weeks after the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed when it was struck by a cargo ship. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers said the passageway where the Key Bridge buckled was now safe for transit. The 700 feet wide and 50 feet deep channel has been restored to its original operational dimensions. The Dali ship veered into the span on 26 March, cutting off the shipping artery and killing 6 construction workers. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers said some 2,000 salvage responders, including hundreds of specialists from around the world, worked to remove the heap of steel and concrete with the help of a fleet of tugboats and more than a dozen floating cranes. Around 1,000 animals were killed in a fire in Bangkok's famous open-air Chatuchak market early Tuesday, gutting nearly 100 shops. Birds, dogs, cats and snakes were burnt to death in their cages in the pet zone, which also included rats, pythons and geckos. Authorities said the blaze was started by an electrical short circuit, adding that no human casualties or injuries have been reported. With tens of thousands of shops crowding narrow lanes, Chatuchak is one of Southeast Asia's biggest markets. It's also the largest and best known of Thailand's weekend markets. Labour has promised to create 100,000 extra dental appointments for children in a bid to clear backlogs in England. The new appointments will be for urgent and emergency care and on evenings and weekends if they win the general election. Access to an NHS dentist has become increasingly difficult in many areas, with tooth decay the most common reason children aged 5 to 9 are admitted to the hospital. The Conservatives have their own dental recovery plan, which was launched earlier this year and offers dentists cash incentives to take on extra NHS patients. Labour's plans announced on Tuesday also include a plan to introduce supervised brushing for children, double the number of NHS scanners and reform dentist contracts to boost numbers where they are needed. The £109 million pledge will be paid for by tightening up non-dom tax rules and clamping down on tax avoidance. And that's all we have for you on World Watch. I am Antonia Nwokolo.